So here are some things that you can look forward to when you get down to a great body weight percentage. You see, back in November of 2025, when I just started to change my life and quit drinking and quit smoking and start my journey on my fucking fitness path, I was 186 pounds and I went all the way down to where I'm at now at 10.8% body fat. Yes, 10.8%. When I hit even before that, when I was floating around like 14% body fat, I was like, you know what? Since I conquered the whole alcoholism and the smoking thing and all the other degenerate things that I used to do, I was like, how about I frickin' step it up a notch? So I was like, I used to run when I was in the Marine Corps. So let's do some 5Ks. So I started doing 5Ks. The first 5K I did was on Easter weekend, called the Bunny Hop. Okay? I came in 14th at a run time of 26 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay? I was first in my age group. Okay? It was terrible. Like, I almost thought I was gonna die because I hadn't run for like years and years and years. And I had a frickin' 12-pound frickin' weighted vest on. The only one that had a 12-pound weighted vest. And everyone's like, either thinking, look at this idiot, or this dude's a beast. He came to a 5K with a weighted vest. And then I went to the gym afterwards. And then I went for a hike after I went to the gym. So that was a pretty awesome day for me. But then I found another freaking 5K. And this was the Go Girls Go. It was for women and stuff and da-da-da. But I ran it anyways. I came in 7th in that race at 23 minutes and 14-second run. The shitty part about this race was they did a freaking asshole move. See, when you started out, you had to run downhill, which was like, woo, I run downhill. Then you had to run around the field. And then you're coming up, and then you had to run back up that goddamn hill that you had to run down. Here's where they did the freaking little sneaky sneak. So when you're running, while I was running up this hill, it was a pretty, steady frickin' incline. And then you get to the top, right? And right off to the right is the frickin' finish line, right? I'm like, man, I ran this thing pretty frickin' fast. I'm like, do, feeling so good. Turn the corner, bam! It says mile 2. I was like, you gotta be frickin' shitting me. You had to run past the frickin' finish line after running up the hill. You had to run past it. Do you know how much I wanted to die? I also had my 12-pound weighted vest on that run. I was the only one again, and then people are probably thinking this guy's an idiot or he's a beast. But I came in 7th. I freaking dug down. I grabbed them. They were sweaty, and I pulled them up. I said, not today, boys. Not today. And I won freaking $75 prize money because I came in first male again. The third one was the Greyhound Trail. I came in 4th at 25 minutes. Yeah, I increased my freaking placement, but I dropped in my time. This one, you had to do like 2 laps. You had to run down around the freaking trail, and then you had to run up this hill again, down the hill, and then up another hill, and then run across the creek. That was a pretty crappy day too, because I broke my shoe, so I had to run the freaking next freaking lap with a broken shoe. because everyone was tiptoeing around the creek because you had to run through a freaking creek. They're like tiptoe. I was like, oh no, man. I just busted right through that creek. And it snapped off the eyelet. So my shoe was half untied. So I had to run that thing. It was pretty good. Pretty terrible, but pretty good. And then the fourth one was the 17th annual solstice. I came in 5th at a run time of 23:07. So I dropped a place, but I increased my time. That one wasn't that bad. It was just a normal race. It had a few hills here and there, but I increased my speed. And then the last one I did was on the 4th of July, and it was the Yankee Doodle Dash. Okay? That one wasn't too bad. There was a slight incline, and that slight incline turned into a decline on the way back. I came in 7th at a run time of 21 minutes and 45 seconds. So over the course of the 5 races, I've increased, decreased, and increased. Tomorrow, I have another 5K. Actually, I have a 5K every month until November. And November is a turkey trot. And that's the one I'm training for. Because I'm going to try like hell to come in first place. I know I checked the standings last year. There were 690 runners. 690! If I come anywhere near 5th place, that means I would have beaten over 600 people. Depending if 600 people show up. I mean, if more show up, then obviously. But I'm training for that. I also have a 14-mile march in September. March for the Fallen. Okay? And then on Halloween of all days, I have a Spartan race that I registered for in New York. So these are just some of the things that when you actually push yourself and you get freaking locked in on your diet, your nutrition, your consistency, your discipline, all these key cornerstone things that you need to replace the freaking degenerate habits that you have. Because you are not going to live forever. So you might as well live the best, longest, healthiest life ever. You can have 99 problems in the world. But if your health becomes a problem, that's your number one problem. Everyone's afraid to die. But if your health is freaking bad because of your habits, there's no one to blame but yourself. Sorry to break the bad news to you, but that's the way it works. And next year, I plan on doing as many 5Ks as I possibly can so I would have all winter to train for the bunny hop. I think that's the first one again. And I also plan on doing a Tough Mudder, another Spartan race that's in Ohio, and then there's another one, I can't remember what it's called, maybe it's Turtle Bones or Dolphin Bones or something. It's another course like the Tough Mudder Spartan race. I'm still waiting on details on where that's at. And then whatever else I decide. Like, life gets way, way more interesting and way freaking better when you start to take your health serious. When you start to take what you eat serious. Because it's a serious matter. You see, discipline is something you cannot buy. A good physique is something you cannot buy, you cannot trade, you cannot steal. You have to work for it. And I have worked my ass off for it. And I am just now starting to reap the benefits. I still have 7 to 8 more months before I want to see my goal. And my goal is 170 to 173 pounds. Jacked. I am freaking shredded right now, but I'm not jacked. I have half of the piece of the puzzle. And the other half is where the consistency, the discipline come in. Because most people, what they do is they drop the weight and then they take their foot off the gas. They're like, well, I got it. I accomplished it. Yeah, I can go back to my old self again. Boom. A couple months later, back to square one. When you get on your journey, it's a journey, not a destination. You do not stop. It becomes a lifestyle. When you've done it long enough and you've switched your identity, and that's the identity shift. It's like you no longer identify as that person that you once was. I don't even remember who I was before. Honestly, I don't even remember who that guy is. I have a picture. My transformation back in December of 2025. Like a couple months after I started my fitness journey and shit. Like, I don't even know who that guy is. Like, who's that fat ass? Seriously, I was like, who the hell is that fat dude? I don't even look like the dude anymore. I don't even know who he is. He's dead. I buried him. He ain't coming back, and I spit on his grave. Like, motherfucker, you ain't coming back. And I don't want him back. It's the best decision that you can make. Anybody can make. And anybody can do it. And don't give me the bullshit and the lies. Be like, it's just my metabolism and I'm too old. And, I'm, hypoglycemic or something. No. It's just excuses. Drop the excuses. Get on your journey. Don't do it for anybody else but yourself. I know it's going to suck because some of you might lose a relationship. You might lose friends. I lost a relationship, but I don't give a shit. Because what happened was you're gonna get too in shape, and then you're gonna leave me behind, and I'll be like, what do you want me to do? Stay fat and die? No, not happening. When you take yourself seriously, and when you take care of yourself and put yourself first, your number one priority is you. No one's going to help you. No one's going to save you. You have to be selfish, because if you can't take care of yourself, you sure as hell can't take care of the people that you care about. And that's what this whole thing is, get in the best shape of your life so that you can care for them in the event of an emergency or in the event of everyday life. It's that serious. And in today's day and age, your ass better be in shape. That's why I'm a big advocate for frickin' running and frickin' strength training. They go hand in hand. And if anybody tells you the different, you can tell them to go fuck themselves. Because don't matter how strong you are and how big you are. If you can't run, if you don't have endurance, you ain't worth a shit anyways. So, that's my 2 cents. If you don't like it, I don't care. But there are great things in your future when you put your frickin' nose to the grindstone, you get locked in, you get your discipline, you get your consistency, and you frickin' forge a body of fucking iron.